Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Good morning, ma'am.
I hope my voice is not echoing.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
I request everyone to please mute themselves.
Earphone.
Good morning to everyone.
So let us get started.
Good morning, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to the ATAL.
Hi, Dr. Pankaj. I think you need to unmute yourself. Dr. Pankaj, we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
You're able to hear me now?
Yes, can hear you now.
All right. So good afternoon, one and all. It gives me immense pleasure and joy to welcome you all to the 6th-day AICT ATAL Faculty Development Program on Driving Innovation for Sustainable Urban Growth, Smart Cities, Mobility, Logistics, and Startup Ecosystems. This FDP is designed to provide a comprehensive understanding of the critical elements shaping modern urban development. Each day is carefully curated to cover a broad range of topics, ensuring participants gain insights into the latest trends and innovations. Day 1 introduces the foundations of smart cities, highlighting their role in sustainable urban development and exploring smart mobility solutions for enhanced urban efficiency. Day 2 focuses on the impact of Industry 4.0 on logistics and building startup ecosystems. Days 3 and 4 will dwell into entrepreneurship, smart logistics, and creating sustainable infrastructure for startups. Day 5 will emphasize on the public-private partnerships and leveraging AI and IoT technologies. While Day 6 will tie it all together, focusing on innovation, policy, and integrated solutions for smart cities. Participants will explore the pivotal role of ATAL Innovation Mission and Tinkering Labs in fostering creative, sustainable urban solutions. I urge all of you to actively participate in each session, share your thoughts, and ask questions. This program offers a valuable opportunity to learn from each other and discover new perspectives. Staying punctual and fully engaged will help you make the most of this experience. I hope these 6 days provide you with all meaningful insight and inspiration. Together, Let us explore the innovative ideas and contribute to building a sustainable future. Thank you, and I wish you a fruitful, successful ATAL FDP program. Thank you so much.
Okay. So
Thank you so
we
much.
start?
Sir, before we start, we would like to read a brief profile of our guest.
I think it's okay with the profile because I actually got another meeting to attend to. I've been waiting for 20 minutes for this. Yeah. So can we just start?
Okay, sir. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
stop sharing, sir, so that you can
Yeah.
start sharing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes,
So
thank you.
my sincere apologies because I'm actually my schedule is booked back to back, and just arrived back from Nepal, and then I got to fly off again shortly. So hence the the slight rush, but it's okay. I'll try to do my very best to share with you some of my thoughts with regards to current business trends, as well as providing some guidance for business research. So as you can see from my screen, that's where I come from. That's Sunway. Let me just try to put in the full screen. Yep. So that's Sunway. Of course, I think it's artist impression. A lot of building is actually happening, and I'll share with you a little bit about what's going on. So that you get to see what a sustainable city looks like, tying into the conference theme. But before going to that, I would like to actually thank Dr. Pankaj for the kind invitation to this conference. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much again. Right. So as you can see on screen, there's a big hole on the ground, all right? And this big hole in the ground is where Sunway City is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, all right? It was a big hole in the ground. It was a tin mining land, right? So when you mine all the tin and when there is left with nothing, this is how it actually looks like, right? It's totally barren on the ground. This was back in the 1980s. But fast forward today, we see that Sunway City has now transformed from a wasteland to a wonderland, right? So the big hole in the ground that you have seen has now turned into a big lake where Sunway City gets 70% of its water from. The trees were transplanted and planted there, and development actually happened with living areas and so on. And if I take you on a bigger aerial view, you'll get to see, on the left-hand side, you see like a football field kind of thing. That's where Sunway University is. So that's a FIFA certified football field. And down at the bottom, you see some orange buildings over there with a curve. That's Monash University. So Monash University is Australian university with a branch campus in Malaysia. And that's where it is, right opposite Sunway University. Now, in Sunway, there's another big hole in the ground behind the university. So the big hole in the ground that I showed you just now was in front of the university, and the other big hole in the ground is behind the university. All right. So behind the university, that big hole, we have transformed it into a lagoon or a theme park where people, families come and enjoy over the weekend or even during the weekdays. And behind that, you see a lot of orange buildings. Those are the hotels. And you also see, in the middle, right in the middle, you see like a triangle. That's in the shape of a pyramid. So that's Sunway Pyramid, and that's a shopping mall. So usually I would joke, in this world, you can find pyramids in Egypt, and the other one that you can find is actually right here in Sunway City in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, but it's a shopping mall. Right, so this is how it looked like, a very sustainable city where it was previously a barren land, it's a tin mining land, it was a wasteland, but look at what it has become. It has turned into a wonderland. Right. And of course, when you build a sustainable city, it's not just a one-off. You actually want to replicate this model everywhere around, right? We cannot run away from the fact that the world's population is growing, and because the world population is growing, we need to build more cities, more homes, but it has to be in a sustainable way. So this is another Sunway City that we are building, not in Kuala Lumpur, but down south in a state called Johor, and Johor is right next to Singapore. All right. So as you can see, there's a bridge over there at the riverside. So that's how close Malaysia and Singapore is. And that's where another Sunway City is being built in a very, very sustainable way. So that's an example of a sustainable city that fits into the conference theme of being a very smart city. But on the other hand, in cities, there are businesses operating. And here, the Sunway is a conglomerate. like Tata and so on. It's a big conglomerate, and we actually have a lot of businesses, from shopping malls, from medicine, to education, to real estate, and so on. And one of the things that we do is that, at the business school, we collaborated with Sunway Conglomerate to develop a carbon pricing strategy, which means that business units, they, of course, they have their profit and loss that they got to take care of, but they also have their carbon emissions to also take care of, right? So we have a net zero target, and business units that fail to meet these targets on a yearly basis will actually get their bonus pool deducted. All right, so that helps to create innovation where individuals have a responsibility to ensure that the company itself meet those targets. All right, because if company don't meet those targets, company don't perform well, then the individuals will not be able to get good bonuses. So this is one of the innovations that we actually pioneered here. It's the first that's happening in Malaysia, and it's becoming an example across the world. Other than that, as a sustainable city, you need to have education, because education is the heart of a city. That's where people come. It becomes very livable. People get educated. And when they go out and do their jobs, it becomes very, very much developed in that sense. So at Sunway, we actually have a lot of scholarships that we give out. So for those of you who are in your bachelor's and you're thinking of doing a master's, you come think of doing Sunway, we do have scholarships also for international students based on merit, and so on. So in short, looking from a sustainable city perspective at Sunway, we believe in doing well by doing good. So that's a little bit of where I come from and a real life example of what a sustainable city looks like. Now I'm going to share with you two frameworks, all right, to help you to look at business trends. So this is a paper that I've published that looks at the philosophy of science and research paradigms. So for those of you who are your master's or your PhD, you may be doing, your thesis, and one of the things that you'll be talking about is research philosophy. So this paper gives you a good snapshot about what research philosophy and research paradigms are. But more importantly, for the topic of this conference here, in terms of recent business trends, there are two frameworks that I've come up in this paper. What are they? This is what I call as ad hocs, ADHOGS, ad hocs, right? And they represent the positive opportunities out there in business. So let's start with A. A means automation, and automation comes in many ways. You have chatbots that replaces, the live customer service. There is also smart routing. There is unified customer profile. All these are being automated, right? So we see this trend coming in, which, as industrial revolution comes, more and more things are being automated. So that's the A. Next is digitalization. So digitalization is different from automation. Automation is things that becomes automatic, whereas digitalization is turning things that were previously physical to something that's digital. So for example, Boost. Boost is an e-wallet, right? Whereas Grab is like Uber, it's like Ola, right? Ride hailing, right? Previously, we have taxis that people will call up, but now you actually have ride hailing using apps. And then there's another one, which is a digital store that we have here in Malaysia. It's called Seng Heng. Where you buy electronic appliances, everything is digital, right? There is no printed receipts anymore. There is no printed warranty cards. Everything is digital on an app. The next is H, hyperconnectivity. In today's world, everything is connected, right? We have social media, everything is connected in that manner. We have WhatsApp, right, where we can connect with anyone and anywhere across the world. And not only that, not only people are connected, but devices are connected today. And that's where Internet of Things come out, right? So this is one of the current modern trends today, which is hyperconnectivity. The next is obligations, all right? We have a lot of obligations these days. Companies previously only have obligations to their shareholders. They must make enough profit so that the shareholders get good dividends on their return on investment. But today, obligations is much more than that. We have ESG, environmental social governance. So the obligations that we have are not just to our shareholders, but to the stakeholders around us. And stakeholders are people like your employees, your customers, the communities around you, including shareholders and society. And the last one there is globalization. Just give me a moment. In the conference. I'll call back. Okay. Short while. Okay, so G is globalization. So, today, people, everywhere is interconnected. International trade is there. But nevertheless, some people say that there's deglobalization happening. I don't think that's the case. What is actually happening is de-internationalization, which means that when firms come out from other countries, like firms coming out from Vietnam, coming out from Cambodia, that is de-internationalization because firms are coming out. Deglobalization will only happen when countries do not trade with each other. Then deglobalization is happening. But today, countries are trading with each other, so that's globalization. Other than that, globalization is also happening because we have virtual teams today. All right, we are working with people across different countries. So that's globalization. And the last one is actually in terms of sustainability. All right. So sustainability is a big thing now as SDGs are there and ESG are there. So if you want to talk about the current trends in today's environment, ad hoc is the way to go, right? ADHOGS, automation, digitalization, hyperconnectivity, obligations, globalization, and sustainability, right? So these are the positive opportunities that are out there. However, there are a lot of challenges as well. And the challenges here are, volatility, right? Things are happening very, very fast. For example, petrol prices, all right, it's always fluctuating. There's also a lot of uncertainty going on, all right? For example, you don't know what is going to happen, all right? For example, political decisions, right? Politicians always make decisions, whenever there is an issue, then they make a decision, and then someone else has complained, they reverse the decision. So there's a lot of U-turn here and there. So uncertainty is always there. There is also complexity, in today's challenges, all right? It's not just about satisfying one stakeholder, but multiple stakeholders. There are a lot of decisions that are taken into account. For example, a country's budget, all right? We cannot satisfy everyone. We need to find a balance because money is scarce. Other than that is ambiguity, all right? Because there's no right and wrong answers to a lot of things these days. So, for example, it's like weather, all right? Weather is one example. And last but not least, we talk about the D in the VUCA, right? So VUCA is something that we already know, but D in VUCA means disruption, right? And we have seen through COVID is a disruption, and ChatGPT is also another disruption. It's disrupting the industry, right? So DVUCA helps you to explain the challenges in today's business realities, right? Right. So those are the business trends that are out there: ad hocs, opportunities, DVUCA, challenges. All right. And as promised, for some of you, you're doing research. So I'm going to give you some tips about doing research. The first one is about how to choose a good research topic, which is quite important. Right. And choosing a good research topic means it has to be trendy, has to be addressing a real life problem. Other than that, we also must know that all problems that are there always have solutions that are already there. So we need to actually explain what solutions are there and why those solutions are not good enough, and then only propose your solution. So critique and change is important. Other than in research, like I mentioned, when you do research, there's always a philosophy and paradigm that comes into play. So that's what it is over here. So do check that out. If you're doing literature reviews, there are a lot of guides out there to teach you how to do literature reviews. These are 3 that I've written, right? So if you're not too sure about this, don't worry. Just Google my name. You'll be able to find these guides over there. One of the prominent techniques for literature reviews is bibliometric analysis, and this is one of them over here. So do have a check with this, right? Because it gives you all the guides of how to actually do bibliometric analysis step by step, all right? Other than that, you're doing qualitative research. For example, you're doing interviews, how to do that, right? Or quantitative research, right? How to look at sample size, how many people should you collect your surveys from? What techniques do you have? So do look at these guides. Everything is in there. It's like a nice toolbox. And the good thing is that all these are open access, meaning that you can download all of these for free. And of course, if you want to publish this, you need to learn how to write for journals. So there's a guide over there. And after you get a decision from journal, you have to revise your paper and improve on it. There is also a guide over there. All right. So I'm just touching here and there on the guides so that you know that these things exist. All right. So I hope that has been useful to tell you about what some of the business realities out there, as well as some tips or guides on how to do business research. All right. So I'll stop here now. And I'm very sorry. I would love to stay for much longer. But unfortunately, I actually have to move to another meeting before I catch my flight. But if there are any questions, do send them across to Pankaj. More than happy to take them and answer them. Right? So just send in your questions, and then Pankaj will put it on the WhatsApp. I will have a look at it, and then after that, I'll quickly try to respond as quickly as possible. All right? So with that, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. And Pankaj, over back to you, our fantastic audience.
So thank you.
So thank you for your thoughts on the business trends. And I understand that you have given us the opportunity to work with you. my humble request to all the participants, please send me your questions because we understand Marc is having a very heavy appointment schedules and though he may not be able to spend time now. So I'll be able to pose your queries to him and we will get back to you. So Nadira ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Pankaj ma'am. A special thanks to our guest speaker, Professor Marc Lim. Sir, are you still with us to take the queries of the participants? Okay, fine. It seems Professor Marc Lim had a very tight schedule and he has left for the day. I would like to read out his profile because actually it's very impressive. So before we end the session and propose the vote of thanks, I would just read out briefly his profile. So Professor Marc Lim serves as a Dean of Sunway Business School and is a distinguished professor at Sunway University. He has a record of being the youngest professor in Malaysia as per Malaysia Books of Record. He has achieved the distinction of being amongst the Stanford top 2% scientists. He has been an award winner, ASM Top Research Scientist, Malaysia, and JCI 10 Outstanding Young Malaysians. Professor Marc Lim has been a discussion leader, AACSB, QS, THE, UNESCO, and WEF. His accomplishments include editing and reviewing 500 plus articles in A-Star, A, and Q1 ranked journals, heading 2 business schools with programs accredited by AACSB, the gold standard held by only 5% of business schools around the world. He is an honoree of Academy of Sciences, Malaysia, and Top Research Scientist, Malaysia, TRSM. He is also an honoree of Junior Chamber International and is one of the 10 outstanding young Malaysians. He's a passionate speaker and is happy to speak on topics such as academic career progression and publishing in premier journals based on his experience of ascending to deanship and full professorship in less than 5 years and publishing more than 100 articles in A-Star, A, and Q1 ranked journals with more than 10,000 citations backed by more than $10 million worth of local and international public and private grants. So that was his profile, a very impressive profile, I should say. And that was, it goes beyond that. Yes. So we come to the end of this session and I would like to call upon our Vice Principal, Professor Karthik P, to render the vote of thanks.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So Marc is not here in the meeting. I think due to his busy schedule, he might have left the meeting, but it's our responsibility to thank him and render the gratitude message. In his absence, I would like to thank Mr. Weng Marc Lim, Dean Sunway of Business School, Sunway University, Malaysia, for taking up his time and having a session with all of us wherein which he shared about the latest business risk challenges, trends through which a people can capitalize themselves. I would like to ask the participants if any one of you or two of you can give us a reflection like on what Mr. Marc spoke upon. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, please.
I'm Dr. Anantalakshmi from Hyderabad. So, sir has, in short, he explained total brief about the sustainable development. He told about the ad hoc automation, digitalization, and hyperconnectivity, obligations, and globalization, and sustainability. And in this sustainability, he spoke about SDG goals, how it is reflecting and all, and hyperconnectivity, how the connecting people with WhatsApp and Facebook and IoT. Digitalization, he said about the boot and the grab and all. Automation, he said chatbot, smart routing, and unified custom profiles, how we are making it. And because of this automation, also it's a little challenging to the companies because of this automation becomes the people automatically, they are now chat GPT and all easy for them. challenges of business realistic. He explained about the DBUCA. Volatile, he explained about the uncertain, what is a complex and ambiguous. Disruption, because disruption, he said about the COVID and ChatGPT. And Ville and business research, how they are going to explain about how to do the research in a very, it is free in online. That is what in short he has explained about the transformative business trends, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anantalakshmi, ma'am, for giving us your reflection about what Mr. Marc spoke about. I think we all know from the Indian perspective, when we think we want to achieve the SDGs, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. I think everywhere across the world, everybody is working towards that to ensure, especially when we consider from Indian perspective, yes, we want to achieve that. And that is not possible from one person or the one institute or one entity. Everybody should join hands together in whatever possible ways that we can and contribute to the sustainable development goals of the country. Anybody else like here was interested to reflect yourself on what Mr. Marc, even though it was short, yes, but still impressive. I think ma'am already told, he spoke about something called ADOX, that is automation, digitalization, hyperconnectivity, obligations, and globalization. It's more realistic about whatever that he spoke about. Anybody else amongst the audience that we have want to give your reflections?
Sir, we will be calling out the names because as per the guidelines, all the participants will be calling out the names and you should be available. So if you are comfortable, I'll be start calling out the names for your reflection because this will be recording and your attendance will be also marked. So Ramadevi ma'am, if you want to speak out.
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Pratima Bhatt ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I'm present here.
Ma'am, we are requesting for the quick reflection from your side. Archana Agnihotri ma'am.
Present, ma'am. I'm present here. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. We are requesting if you want to give a quick feedback about the session today.
Ma'am, session has been very informative and very interesting, ma'am, and hope that it will continue to give us some more knowledge.
Sure. Okay, I would like to call Banita Jason, ma'am.
Ma'am, I am present here. I'm present. I was not able to attend the entire thing. At the end, I was listening. I'll attend the next session.
Sure, ma'am. I would like to call Bhuvnesh Mishra, sir.
Ma'am, it is audible and it's a great session right now till now I can say.
All right. Would like to call Dr. Anand Dwivedi, sir. N. Sharmili, ma'am.
Yes, madam. It is audible, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, madam.
We'll be taking the last reflection now because see, please understand participants, when we are looking for the reflection, we are calling out your name. As per the ATAL FDP guideline, we will be taking the feedback in terms of reflection. So please continue, sir.
Madam, good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Madam, this is Dr. Leela Ambedkar Singh from Karnool, madam, St. Joseph Degree College.
Sure, sir.
Madam, the professor revealed in olden days the sustainable development, how day by day we are utilizing the, like SAR showed one image. So earlier it was like a pond. So that pond has totally, turned up as an amusement and total sustainable development and the development totally in day by day metropolitan cities, how it grow regarding this technology growing as well as population. Sir revealed like briefly, ma'am. So whatever Sir said, precisely I revealed, ma'am.
So
But
thank
it
you
was
so
very
much, sir.
nice. Sir has revealed so deeply, madam. It was very informative to us.
Sure. So thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Manju Avasti, ma'am. Ma'am, you are on mute, Manju, ma'am. I would request other participants. We will be giving opportunity to everyone to kindly be on mute. We will be announcing your name, not to worry at all.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Yes, ma'am.
afternoon.
Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Very interesting lecture, I will enjoy the lecture very much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll be from one of the participants, Dr. Bharat V. Sir, can you please unmute yourself and give a quick reflection? I know it was a quite short session today, but we will have to respect the resource person's schedule as well. So we are requesting, kindly give us your reflection.
Ma'am, can you share with that PPT Mr. Weng explained that presentation in the
Sure,
group,
sure.
in the
So
WhatsApp?
we will check with him.
Actually, it's a short and sweet summary was there. Like he quickly wrapped up. So we just want to go through it.
Yes. So definitely we will try our best to provide all of the PPTs and whatever the information he has shared with us. We will check with him and get back, sir.
Thank you.
So one more important announcement for all participants. Kindly fill the feedback link, which will be shared now, because we'll be sharing in each session. So kindly ensure that you are filling up the feedback form, and ensure that some of you have logged in with your other name, which may not be recorded. Kindly understand, whichever name and your email ID you have registered in the ATAL portal, kindly. Otherwise, we will not be able to give your attendance. So let's not do that, because as per the guidelines, we have already intimated to all of you that 90% of the attendance is required to get the certificate, apart from the assessment on the day 6. Okay. So are we sharing the link, Nazura ma'am, and over to you?
Thank you, Pankaj ma'am. So we'll be dropping the feedback link on the chat. So please see to it that you fill up the feedback form. And
Thank you, ma'am.
we'll be shortly ending the session. And hope to see you in the evening. So we'll be starting the evening session at 6 o'clock, and I request you to log in by 5:50 p.m. for the evening session. So
Okay,
evening
ma'am.
session is going to be a little longer session. It's going to start at 6 o'clock and will be ending at 9:30 p.m. Request everyone to join.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So has the feedback link been given to the, done? Yeah, it's available on the chat. Okay, the feedback link.
Dear participant, the feedback link will be 10 minutes from now. Kindly
Madam, chat box
mark
is
your
disabled.
attendance.
Hello. Chat box is disabled, so we could not be able to communicate through the chat box.
I think the feedback link is even shared in the group. Yeah. Okay. Please see to it that you enter the feedback in the next 5 minutes. So we'll be ending the session. See you in the evening. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you.